Today's podcast is brought to you by Quantrix Modeler Introductory Training, teaching the fundamental foundation that you need to become a Quantrix master. Go to quantrixauthority.com to learn more. Hey, welcome back to another Netcast. I'm Rich Lopez, Quantrix Authority. Sincerely appreciate you joining me today for episode number 192, DataPush Expression using Select Function. I've been using this one lately at my day job at Lighthouse Foods, and I thought it was awesome, and so I wanted to share it with you here in the Quantrix community. I have here a pretty complex model. It's doing a lot of stuff. If I were to go ahead and open up the model browser, you could see as I scroll down through here just how many matrices this model has. But ultimately, we have one matrix where we want to, which is the result of all these other matrices and a bunch of calculations, and we want to be able to push this out to a database, okay? And this matrix, or this model, calculates these numbers on a fiscal month basis. And based off of the selection that I put in these two cells, okay, it goes ahead and performs all these calculations. And it works beautifully. But what I want to do is I want to now push this out to a database, and I want to label it with the fiscal month and the fiscal period that is associated with this start date and this end date. And I don't necessarily want to have that fiscal period living out here in the matrix as another column. I could, but I guess I really don't need it. I'm kind of lazy. So when I'm pushing this data, I want it to go out and I want it to select the fiscal month and the fiscal period based off of the days that I have put in here, okay? So how do I do that? Well, I can go ahead and I can write a select statement and go out to my date dimension table where I have fiscal date and fiscal month, and I can bring in the fiscal month and the fiscal year associated with that date that I look up or I use in my select statement. So once I come up with that select statement, I can then put that as part of my data push. And what I mean by that is I simply go up here to data push on this purchases raw, and I have created this data push where I push out the year and the month, and I have selected here that it is an expression that I use in my field type. And you can see here, I'm going to maybe zoom in on that just a little bit here, is I select the date dim, or the financial year is what I want to bring back in the year field based off of my date dim financial date, where I'm looking up the date selection fiscal date start value. So again, what I'm going out here and doing is I'm saying, well, go and find the fiscal year here where my financial date here is equal to my financial date here, and push it as a field in my data push. And I'm doing the same thing for my month here. And again, it's just a select statement, just like you would write in Quantrix in the formulae area. But you can put it as an expression up in here in your data push and execute it that way. Anyway, I think that's fantastic. I found it very useful and kind of a lazy man's way to get some information into your data push that maybe isn't living within your the matrix that you're pushing. So if you have any questions about data push or anything in regards to Quantrix, its integration with SQL Server even, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. I absolutely love Quantrix. I use integration with SQL Server heavily in all of the models that I develop, and I think it's a very powerful way to use Quantrix. And if you have any questions about Quantrix, I do hope that you'll reach out to me at quantrixauthority@gmail.com. I absolutely love Quantrix. I'm dying for you to ask me a question, so please do so at that web address or that email address above. And please join me again for another episode of Quantrix Authority with Rich Lopez.